the International Racing Association Daytona 150 here tonight. Daytona International Speedway. Qualifying just going on right now, so we'll catch up with that in a minute. I'm Justin Kolb, Michael Skinner alongside with you here today. Unfortunately, Race could not join us tonight, having a bit of a family emergency, so Michael will be making his debut here on Full Throttle TV.
Yes, thank you very much, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm excited for this exciting race. It's always a good one at Daytona.
Yeah, as you said, it's always a good one, and most of the time it's always unpredictable. You know firsthand because you won here this year in the High Voltage Racing League. Kind of unpredictable, and just when you play your cards right, most of the time you come out at the good end.
Oh man, that's for sure. I mean, I'm so excited. You know, Daytona is always such a fun race, and it gives everybody, you know, that chance to go out there and win and steal one. You know, somebody that might not have won yet in the series. It's so much fun. Looking forward to it tonight, and man, I can't wait for this thing to start.
Yeah, and if qualifying is any indication of what we might see here, besides all the harsh bumping and banging, got a pretty good crowd here tonight. From what my scorecard is telling me, 26 cars have registered here tonight, so should be a pretty good show here. Qualifying just about halfway done here. Got about 2 minutes and 50 seconds left, looks about. So
it looks like a strange strategy though, with only a few going out. So all those other cars that are planning on just starting from the back there, I'm curious to see on how their strategy plays out, especially with these guys going 4 wide already in practice. But it's going to be exciting. I'm so excited.
Yes, sir. And as you said, a pretty good field here tonight. About 10 more cars than we had previously seen last time Full Throttle TV was at Daytona. Also, it's a bit later in the night. High Voltage Racing League's race was during the day and only had about 16 cars, so should be a good show with about 10 more on track.
I think a good question, and I think I'm going to ask you here is, with it being a night race, do you think the tires are going to be a big factor, or do you think you were going to see a bunch of people take two and try to get up front, maybe early on in the race, and just kind of ride it out and kind of lead the pack there, especially if your teammates, to see if that works? Because I know during the day race, you had to get tires because they just wore off so fast. But I think that's going to be an intriguing question, and I'd like to get your opinion on it.
Yeah, I think with the daytime, obviously the temperatures are going to be cooler, and with that, we'll take a quick weather report with an air temp of 67 degrees. So these tires aren't going to get as hot as they did in the day. So shouldn't see too much tire wear and shouldn't see too much tire fall off. So worst comes to worst, these guys could just take fuel only, or as you said, 2 tires, and be good with it. So
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's always a cat and mouse game. Hopefully we get to talk to the few drivers that we have up here to get interviewed, and we'll be able to get kind of an insight on what they're thinking throughout the race. But as you said, it's Daytona. It's cooler. It's a little bit past the summertime, so all that hot weather's out of the way, and it's going to be full throttle. It's going to be a blast tonight.
So just about 30 minutes left to qualifying here tonight. Adam Meyer, I believe that's how you pronounce it, is currently on pole in that number 12 truck, slotted behind this pack of 3 here, or pack of 4 really. Really the best place to be to get all the speed here.
Yeah, it looks like they kind of got the memo here towards the end of qualifying. They're not going too wide. They're all kind of strung out and running single file to get that best lap possible. Hopefully we see some good side-by-side racing tonight, because it looks like we're about to begin.
Yes, sir. So should anybody beat Adam's time here coming across the line, we'll have to see. Doesn't look like it. So we're going to have Adam Meyer on the pole, and Jeremy C. Poole is going to be starting on the outside of him. Here comes a sliding 29 car. So really quickly, we'll try and get the grid done here, because iRacing seems to not like us after qualifying is finished. So Nicholas Bass is going to be starting 3rd here tonight. Derek Less 4th. Garrison Hogan 5th. William Kriska 6th, and Michael, you want to get down to 12?
Yes, sir. We got Sammy Coughlin starting 7, London Williams starting 8th, Brandon Vaughn starting 9th, Douglas Doucette starting 10th, Eddie Kerner starting 11th, and David Phillips starting 12th.
Then you have Dan Bunn starting 13th. Richard Hines, a name we've seen a lot in 3-wide racing, going to be starting 13th, and I think we might have just lost it here. Yep, so scoring's going to get all messed up for us, but that's all right.
We got halfway. I think that counts for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a little homegrown here with Richard Hines. A little bit of pulling for him there.
Yes, sir. So, truck's currently taking the grid as of right now. Going to be doing 1 pace lap. And I believe we're going to be doing, 75 laps here tonight. Either that or 100. But we'll check that in a minute.
They are doing 60 laps tonight.
60 laps. That was close.
With that 70% fuel limit, that's going to make it rather interesting.
Yes, sir. Have to imagine maybe a 2 or 3 stop race here. Didn't check how long these guys could run on fuel for, but have to imagine. I think with a full fuel run, that's about 30 to 40 laps there. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably about 25, maybe to 30 laps, probably the most they can do on the 70%. So that's definitely going to break up the pit stops there. But I'm sure there's going to be a few cautions. I mean, it's super speeder racing. Towards the end they're going to get 3-4 wide, going for the win. So it's going to be exciting. We're going to have to stay on the edge of our seats here.
Yes, sir. And shouldn't be too long here before these trucks start rolling.
So with that, say the fuel window is somewhere between what I just said. Do you think they're even starting to save at this point, just to go a little bit farther?
I'm not quite sure. I'm not really certain how you'd take a approach to this. Whether it be thinking you might get an early caution here, or getting a long run. We'll have to see. Based off practice, it seemed like these guys were a little wild, but they could be a whole different animal during the race, so we'll just have to see.
Yeah, once that green flag flies, especially at a place like Daytona, it seems like the aggression and the temper is kind of relaxed for at least the first half of the race before it gets ramped up again. So I'll be curious to see what part of the field starts breaking up and dropping to the back. Because as you and I know, Justin, we know that cars are gonna fall back and try to make their way up. It just depends on if they're going to have a caution, not to bring it back together. So they're going to have to play that strategy just right, like a few of us did in HVRL earlier this year.
Yes, sir. It's 2 different strategies, really, at Daytona. You got some guys who race from the front, and then you got some guys who race a little cautiously and race towards the back. So be interesting to see how the field divides up, because with, as you said, high voltage, it was really maybe like 5 cars towards the front, and then everyone else was just kind of dropping back towards the second pack.
Yeah, I mean, it's always one of those, you take a chance on being up front, but you always also take that chance on being in the back. So, it's a 50-50 race, whether you make it to the end or not. But I think that's what makes it so fun for everybody. That's why everybody comes and does these super speeder races, just because it gives you that one shot that you have to go out there. To either help somebody win or be helped to the win. It's a blast running these high banks. I think, and like I said, that's why so many people come out and race them.
Yeah, another reason, it's quite the equalizer in that everyone here who starts has a pretty good chance of being able to end up in victory lane. So, pace car is going to pull it down into pit road here, and we are green. 60 laps here tonight.
Looks like the 12 got a good getaway right there from the start.
Yes, sir, and still double file, but we'll have to see how everyone sorts it back out when we come back to the line. Could see 3-wide racing by the time we get back here.
It almost looks like the car on the outside kind of dropped back a little bit. At the start, I wonder if that's part of the strategy, or you think he just got caught sleeping on that restart.
I'm not quite sure. Could have been any one of those deals. I'm not sure the team situation here and which teams are aligned and who is not, but definitely could have been a situation of a deal made earlier in the race. Or earlier in practice, that is. So we have one car off the apron there.
Yeah, listening to the driver radios, it sounds like there's a bunch of checkup on the bottom line there. That's causing some type of problem. Maybe that's what caused the back car of there going on the apron.
Well, still 2x2 here now, but looks like there's a little bit of separation on that bottom line between the 8 and it looks like the... I'm not quite sure who that is because he has all dark numbers.
Looks like the 77 behind him there, Justin.
And looks like the 81 had to drop out of line for some sort of reason, and he's going to fall all the way to the back now.
We had a lead change there. The 51 is now sitting there on point. With a beautiful move to get up front there. We have 3 NOS cars tonight in different colors. You got to wonder if they're a team together, as they all seem to be color coordinated just perfectly. It looks like they're still pretty racy though, as they stay 2x2 for it looks like the first 5 or 6 rows.
Yes, sir. So, very quickly, while we have the chance, we're going to do it early here. It looks like Trading Paints didn't quite update on our side, so we're going to take a quick break here, about a minute break, and we'll be right back and sort some things out, and we'll be right back to racing. Alright, welcome back to the Daytona 150 for the IRA League. We apologize for that, just a slight mishap on our end, but now you can see all the beautiful schemes these trucks are racing tonight. And quite a different looking field now with all those schemes on.
Yes, sir, for sure. They are very colorful. Looks like the 12 is pulling a strategy, and he pulled off to the on the apron on the backstretch. You wonder if it was if he was overheating or if he was just worried about being too wide there.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of guys. A couple guys did it during the break we just took. A lot of them pulling off, and I guess maybe they're feeling like it's just a bit too racy up there, and maybe expecting something to happen up front. So preparing for the worst, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I was just listening to the 12 car of Adam, and he was saying he was just not comfortable up there with trying to keep that kind of pace and bumping each other as hard as they were on lap 8 of a 60-lap race, which I completely agree with him, and I'm sure you do too. But to be honest with you, I mean, it's too wide, 5 or 6 rows deep, so it's really not getting far away from it too much.
Yeah, not quite. I don't believe there's a pack quite back far enough that you're really out of the danger zone. So
it's great racing up at the front. The battle between the 21 and the 51 it just seems like it's heating up, and they're side drafting pretty hard. So hopefully they can keep it all straight and they can keep them all nice and pretty and shiny, like you said earlier.
So it seems like the bottom lane is going to be the preferred lane here tonight. Doesn't seem like that top lane can really get the momentum rolling. So we'll have to see maybe if they can get that later in the race when it's go time, or if that's just going to be the way it is.
Yeah, it's almost like when they had 2 or 3 cars up there, the top lane worked out really well. But once they all started getting packed up and the bottom line became even with the top line, the bottom line, even with all the checking up that I'm hearing over the radio, it just seems like the bottom lane is, like you said, the best place to be, and probably the safest place as well.
Yeah, but
looks like the 6 just pulled up. He's going into turn 3, so we're gonna have our first lap traffic here. Unfortunate for him.
yes, sir. It looks like the third NOS car tonight is going to get put the first lap down here.
Yeah, and I mean that's not always a Destin. It's here. He's only going to be this one lap down, just checking at the times, and and I'm sure he has the steam to hang on with the field. So any caution he avoids, he's going to be automatically back on that lead lap. And it can also take the wave around, and I'm sure the tires will hang on as well.
He's going to have to get real high there on the back stretch as everyone turns to avoid him.
Yeah, that's the best place to catch him right there was on the straightaway. When they get here to the corner, it's going to get pretty challenging.
Looks like the 29.
Looks like he's blinking a little bit.
That'd be the 29 of Cody Taylor. So little issues for him, but looks like it's all settled out now.
It looks like there's a little contact between the 1 and the lapped car there.
Yeah, a little 3 wide action there as he had to go around the lap track.
Ironically enough, I was just about to say how well everybody got around him, and then they got into each other. But no harm, no foul. There, everybody's still clicking along.
So as you can see, there's only about 2 cars there on that outside lane who were able to keep up with the leader. Now here comes the help from the back there. Doesn't seem like those guys can, as I said before, stay too formed up before losing all their momentum.
Yeah, I think the more cars they have, I think is actually a bigger problem, which sounds bad and which sounds wrong. But 2 or 3 cars up there, they can keep motoring along. But it seems like when they get more and they start beating on each other, they start getting squiggly. And on the top lane, you got to stay so uniform because it's a long way around to even make it work. So it's a difficult thing to do on the outside. But I'm sure once these guys get kind of into a rhythm, they'll figure that out.
Riding on board here with the 27 of Landon Williams, currently slotted 4th. Actually, I believe he's 3rd. Got past a truck there. He's going to pull up to the outside and try and make something work here. Hello, we're 3 wide. Looks like Cody Tabor's going to get shuffled out to the middle. No, he's going to cut. Oh, that was ever
that
so
was close. Oh man,
I think
it
that,
actually looks like the 27 has some damage from that. It also
yeah, it looked like
almost
he
looks like.
got a piece of the nose, and that's going to put a little damage there on the 27. So don't think he'll be too happy about that. But
Nah, that just means he'll be a good car to push later on with that little bit of extra drag he'll have. But if he's going to be pushing somebody, I wonder if that's going to make him overheat a little bit quicker.
yeah, that could have done a little damage there to cave in the radiator there, or the opening to the radiator.
By the way, Justin, I did some research, and the Haviland black car with the black numbers is number 19.
All right. Yeah, I think it was a error on my part due to. Oh no, he is driving a black truck. Oh, as we have some contact there between the 51 and the 44.
Oh no. Oh, on the back marker.
Oh
car.
no.
Oh, they just missed it. Oh man.
51 over on his lid, gonna roll back down, get into
no.
Richard Hines, the 87
Oh,
truck
that's
there.
unfortunate.
And our first incident of the night. That's gonna take out quite a few drivers there.
Man, quite a few cars that are running up front too. You know, that kind of worked their way back there to kind of ride, and it looked like the 51. You know, if the 6, I mean, I'm assuming, you know, with the paint scheme, you know, and the liveries, I'm assuming they're teammates. Looks like he was trying to help him out, and the 44 car just got in the back of the 51 and turned him, and all mayhem, you know, broke loose. But man, it's unfortunate for those guys.
Wow, what a vicious hit by that 51 truck.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a sim version of Christopher Bell's accident earlier this year.
No kidding. Let's ride on board with the 51 truck here as that happens.
Oh, hang on, man. Buckle up. It's going to be a heck of a ride.
51 of Garrison Hogan. He had gotten loose before that. And, wow.
That's brutal. I mean, that's a heck of a hit.
So now we're going to have to regroup and see who's left after that one. It looked like it was just mainly the back half of the field and took out maybe about 7 or 8 guys, but
yeah, it looks like it took out about 8 guys. The 44, the 65, the 87, the 24, 51. I believe that's a 92.
we just have to see here. The 51, I'm guessing, blew up there, and he's going to get a little push from the 81 truck, so a little help.
I don't know how that thing didn't blow up. I mean, I was upside down a lot.
Yes, sir. So green flag pit stop is going to go on here.
And the 6, I believe, wasn't part of the accident, and will get his lap back here. So that's fortunate for him. Unfortunate for the 51 car. But it looks like the 88 truck is going to come out first here, and he's going to lead him to green with the 29 of Cody Tabor coming out second. Do you want to see if we can get the 29 in the booth here and ask him any questions?
If we can find him here. Actually, Cody has left our TeamSpeak server, so not going to be able to speak with him, so... Actually, if we have a minute, let's try and talk to the 51 truck there, Garrison Hogan. Garrison, it's Justin up in the FTTV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, that was a vicious hit. Walk us what you saw there.
Yeah, that was pretty wicked.
Was there any indication that that was coming? Maybe a, just a little wiggle in the pack or any abrupt moves by anyone there?
There was a huge checkup in front of me, and so I just let off the gas a little bit. And teammate just came behind me. He didn't realize it. He just gave me a shot, and I just went down the track and got a little loose.
I don't know if you've seen the replay yet, but that was a brutal hit there.
Yeah, it was very violent. I literally took my hands off the wheel.
Well, we're glad you're okay, and it sucks you're out of the race, but you were having a good run.
Yeah, thanks. I was really trying to keep up with my teammate Landon there and make it a good 1-2 finish, but hopefully he'll have a good run.
All right. Well, unfortunate run for here tonight, but we wish you luck in the future races here in the IRA League.
All right, thank you.
That was the 51 of Garrison Hogan, and unfortunately his night is probably well done with. He probably could get another engine in that truck, but don't think the damage kind of will benefit him too much there. So.
Yeah. And when you hit hard enough to take your hands off the wheel, you know you hit the wall really hard.
Oh yeah, especially in iRacing. So
Looks like the 29 is back.
So he is. We'll bring him into the booth here. He's probably got a little bit of time. So Cody Tabor, it's Justin in the FTTV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, it's been a pretty good run for you tonight. Mostly stayed in the top 5 all night. Almost got shuffled to the back there. Walk us through your race so far.
Well, we started dead last on the field. We made a mistake on pit road just now by missing our pit box, so we're going to pit with 1 to go here. The race has been pretty good so far. I was kind of expecting people to be kind of rough racing it throughout the first part of the race, and it's been pretty clean so far. Pretty proud of these guys.
Cody, it's Michael up here. What do you see on the bottom lane versus the top line? I hear a bunch of people talking about checking up, but every once in a while it looks like the top line gets a run and then that kind of disintegrates. So you got any ideas on what's causing that?
I think a lot of people are just getting on the brakes too much whenever they holler check up, because I've noticed a lot of guys I've had to literally slam on the brakes because guys are just plowing the brakes to stop. But they've kind of calmed down once you get to the front of the field. You kind of get the guys that knows what they're doing. So hopefully that continues throughout the race, that we don't have to worry about getting in an accident.
All right. Well.
Yeah, man, you've been running a smart race so far, and I wish you luck and try to stay out of trouble there.
All right, thank you, Michael.
So it was the 29 of Cody Tabor. Unfortunately, like he said, missed his box, so he'll be starting at the rear of the field. So gonna have some work to do to catch up back to the front. So.
Just taking a look under yellow here before they get to the restart box here. It looks like the 27 still has that front end damage, but he seems to be hanging on pretty well. So I'm wondering how that's going to affect him being up here in front. Going to have to start pushing and seeing if the car will overheat.
Yeah, it'll probably. I assume most of those damage does. It will probably affect the length of time he can push, but I don't think it'll be too bad to where it'll blow up on him. So pace car is going to pull down. 88's the leader, and we're green with 42 laps to go here at Daytona, and most of the field's still left, so that's the good thing.
And the one car getting down to the bottom there, a smart decision, as the rest of the top lane did not get a great restart as he did. One thing I was very curious to hear from Cody Tabor there was how much he was talking about the drivers braking, trail braking, I'm assuming, instead of letting off the gas, and how much that's causing them to back up to the car behind them. So I'm wondering if that's a strategy play, or if they just think that's a much better way to have these trucks draft. Do you have any input on what you think would be the best way?
Well, from what I've heard, mostly in the NASCAR world, the best thing to do in the draft is kind of drag the brake a little bit, and some of these guys may be dragging the brake just a little bit too much to where it backs the whole lineup. So that could be one thing they're doing. I know some guys also just kind of quarter or half throttle it to get around. So a number of different strategies here, and I have a feeling the dragging the brake strategy may be taking down the top line there.
Yeah, it's amazing how you can have all these types of driving the car, with throttle and brake, and strategies, and at the end of the race, they're all going to end up, banging doors next to each other, running too wide, first 20th, a second apart. It's amazing how all that just comes together at the end of these super speedway races.
Yes, sir.
Seems like everybody wants to be in front, but nobody's really content on just riding.
Ooh. That was a pretty good block there by the one car to get down in front of the 88. But that high side, with the two cars, the 21 and the 27, look to be making a pretty good charge towards the front.
Yeah, but I feel that 77 going to start dragging him back here, unfortunately. But that just seems to be the trend with the top side as they all start getting closer and closer to each other. Man, this is a good race so far. A lot of action. Unfortunate for that wreck, but they've raced hard and they've raced pretty clean, to say the least.
Yeah, I don't think we've been single file one lap this race, so some good racing all around.
Yeah, even just watching this one with them running side by side is a lot more entertaining than most of the Daytona speed races I've been a part of.
So as we said, 2x2 down the back straightaway, and they have not left the 2x2 way here. Seen some 3-wide racing, but no single file racing here tonight quite yet. So
that's awesome news for us. Gives us a whole bunch to talk about. I'm curious to see what the strategy is for the cars that are riding in the back, because they're not riding too far behind. But are they far enough back to, if there's an accident in front of them, they can miss it? Because they almost didn't miss the last one.
Well, if we look back to the about 16th and 17th position of Matt Bean and Douglas Pack, as you said, they're not too far back to where they're leaving the draft, but I think they may have enough of a gap to where should they see an accident forming, they'll be able to step on the brake quick enough and get her slowed down. We're going to ride on board here with the number 30 of Matt Bean. Just to give you a little idea of where they are compared to the main pack.
Yeah, as you can see that they're kind of switching back and forth so nobody gets hot. But I think they're also doing that so they don't pull up to the front cars just as fast as the 81 car almost had a moment there.
Yeah, and I think that might be a bit of a good strategy, as you said, letting up to not be able to catch up to the main pack. Because I mean, with side-by-side racing is I say that now they're kind of losing it, so they're gonna have to catch this 81 car here and maybe try and get a little bit farther forward, but it's kind of an interesting strategy, and I think it may work in the long run here. I do predict at least one more caution here. I don't think we'll be able to make it back green with out another one, I'd say, but these guys are looking good.
They are. I mean, it's extremely clean, but it's super speed racing, and once it seems like when it gets to 10 to go, people start realizing they can't win from what position they're in, so they start making more room and squeezing into positions they probably can't. So I'll take your one caution out, and I'll go ahead and raise it that we'll have two more, and I think we're going to have a surprise winner, somebody that maybe hasn't ran up front all night.
And the glory or the good thing in that, you might be right, and I might be right. You just never know here around this track. It's so unpredictable.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty good at guessing things around here. I've won here.
Yes, you have. You actually made it 2 for 2.
But it looks like the 29 car had lost connection there. It's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, very unfortunate. He was having some issues with blinking during the beginning of the race, so unfortunately it looks like his internet has finished him off.
Yep, he is now 4 laps down in 22nd place. But what a big field. I want to say that. What a nice field to see.
Yeah.
For any league, with 26 cars. So that's always really great to see that the league is striving and people are having fun and enjoying it.
Yeah, we started with 26 cars on the field here. We're still running with about 18 cars left on the lead lap, so... Excuse me, everyone's coming back around. Looks like we're going to have 20 cars on the lead lap.
Looks like the 88 there jumped back out in front. Yeah, man, it seems like that outside's good for one or two moves during a run, but after that, it seems like it starts to fall back a little bit. With that 27, he's been able to push. He just hasn't quite. I think that damage is hindering him. It just hasn't quite been able to pull up in front of the leader there and get to the bottom.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because some people I talk to, they'll tell you that the high line is the best line to be in, and you know, it all depends on how the drivers feel about it, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I truly believe that once they get down to pushing hard, I think the 27 car will actually become a rocket ship, just because the cars won't bounce back and forth like they do now, but it'll almost be like an old style car. They'll be able to hook together, and they'll be able to go by themselves to where everybody else will have to have a car.
Oh, there we go! 27. Oh, and that's going to take just about everyone
half
out.
the cars. Oh, no.
Oh, someone's stuck in the wall over there.
Oh, no. Oh, wow. The 17 car.
Wow, look at that.
I'm not sure the ambulance is going to get to him.
No, he's going to escape out of that one, but wow. Well, I think we can say that's the big one there.
Well, I think I can say that a car that hasn't been up front tonight might not win, because it just took them all out.
Let's
Actually, I think the 30 and the 81, I think they got it through. I think they had just been far enough back to get through it clean, so we might still have a chance here with my strategy. But man, I watched that replay. That's brutal.
Let's take a look here. I think it starts with the 27 maybe coming down on the 8 car. Oh no, that's the 8 shooting back or shooting up the track, and wow, that's 17 car. What a lick he took.
Yeah, well, I mean, I noticed earlier that the 1 car had been kind of getting on the apron a little bit, getting in the corners, and I'm curious to see if the 8 car was trying to move up a little bit to have some room to see into the corner, or if he just lost track and just got tight and drove right into the side of the 27. But that's an unfortunate accident. Honestly, I thought the 27 was going to save it there for a little bit, and the 8 kind of finished him off.
Yeah, and again, let's take a look or go on board with another wild ride here. We're riding on board the 17 of Dan Bunn here.
Man, that... Whew.
Something happened with that 8 car. He either snapped loose and wow.
I mean, that 17 car just stopped, and it looks like the car behind him, I can't quite see the number in this replay. I think it was the 98 car just lifting him up right into the fence, and it got stuck in the tailgate there. That was a brutal accident for multiple drivers involved.
Sir,
Man, the 21 car just snuck by there on the outside.
But he'll be lining up second on this restart as we have Derek Wright, who has won the battle off pit road. So just passing halfway here with 30 laps to go. So while we're under caution, we're going to take this quick second to take a break, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to Daytona International Speedway with the IRA League Daytona 150 here tonight. Just past halfway, and these guys are just taking one to go here from our last caution that I think we can say for certain was the big one here tonight.
Yeah, Bob, the big one is to say the least. I mean, some of those cars were in the catch fence, flipping upside down. The temperature may be 70, but the on-track action is reaching boiling point at this point. We're halfway through the race, and it's only going to get more exciting.
And with that, since we're halfway, let's take a quick race recap after 32 of 60 laps. So far, we've had 2 cautions for what will be 8 caution laps, and we've had 15 lead changes here tonight. So a good amount of lead changes here.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see on which driver has actually led the most lap, and if he's actually still in the race right now.
The person who has led the most laps here tonight appears to be the 21 of Sammy Coggo with 11. And then the second most is the 88 of William Kruzka.
Nah.
9. So, that 21 car has been very stout tonight and continues to be stout as the 52 went down pit road, as you saw under commercial. So the 21 will lead us to green here as the pace car is going to pull in here. 21's on the gas, and we're away. With 28 laps to go here.
Looks like the outside there got a pretty decent restart, but it looks like the 88 car is... Oh, no, he's going back to the outside now. He bailed to the bottom. Oh, an accident. Oh, they're wrecking.
I believe that's the 19 there. Christopher Norman. Wow, well, I guess you're right, Michael. We're going to get 2 more cautions, if not more. That took out, again, a lot more cars.
Yeah, it almost looks like the 6 car that got his lap back didn't... I don't know if he knew what lane he was supposed to be in, but man, I hate seeing all these cars taking out more cars.
So I'm assuming it started out with the 19 there. Oh, no, it was the 6. And the 6 or the 19 was just an innocent bystander there, so...
Yeah, it looks like the 6 car got stuck in the middle there, and that's a tough place to be because your spotter's saying something, and, you know, you think you're clear, and I think he made an idea. Yeah, that's what the driver of the 6 car said. He got 3 wide there, and the outside driver didn't know he was there, and he came down. I mean, I think the 2 trucks I feel the worst for there is the 78 and the Texaco Haviland Toyota Tundra there. He was just an innocent bystander, just getting turned right into the wall.
Yep, and, well, your bet was right, Michael. So, if not, we may have another one, so...
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think we're going to have more. I mean, like I said, this is going to get ramped up more and more, and I did not see one coming here on the restart, especially after a massive accident like that. Yeah. I kind of saw them, taking it easy, but I can be wrong from time to time. Yeah, and my 30 truck got some damage in that one.
Yeah, he had actually, from what we saw on the replay, had gotten damage from the 6, who was coming back up on track, and unfortunately, 30 of Matt Bean... unfortunately collected in that.
Yeah, honestly, it looks like there was an accident behind the actual accident there, with cars just kind of stopping and piling into each other.
Yeah, the 30 was actually one of the ones on that big run, or that long run, who were trying to stay behind and stay out of trouble, and unfortunately he found himself in some trouble here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with him. I would have never thought that one of the biggest accidents would have come right there on the start of restart when they're probably just barely over 130 miles an hour going into turn 1 there. Looks like there's 4 cars unharmed here left in the race here with, 24 laps to go, Justin?
Yeah, 25. So, I mean, again, we still have time. We could get couple more cautions. Seeing how that one played out, might see another 1 or 2. So could have done though. We could have a 20 Should they come back to the line here? Maybe a 23 lap to the dash to the finish. Is let's see, just about 7 cars left in that main pack there. As a 81 struggling on the bottom there with smoke coming out of the back of his truck.
And I'm assuming they can make from here as nobody else is pitted. So it looks like it's just going to be, foot to the floor and flat out here to the finish. And hopefully they can finish this thing under the green so I can win that bet and we can have a good finish.
And as I mentioned before, we started with 26 cars, and we have about 14 left on the lead lap. Most sitting in pit road towards the back, so waiting for these guys to come off pit road and regroup with the field here, and probably see 2 to go next time around, I'm assuming.
It seems to be that the top few drivers that had stayed out the whole race up front, they seem to be played the right strategy. Like you said earlier, you could win from anywhere, and it looks like they happen to play the right strategy with the lucky accidents that they've avoided tonight. So do you have any picks you think you're going to drive it into victory lane here tonight, or are you still up in the air on that one, Justin?
Well, with how good this 21 car has been looking here tonight of Sammy Coghill, I mean, I don't think there's really anyone who can get around him. He's been pretty stout all night, been towards the front all night, and as soon as he gets the lead, it seems like he doesn't lose it. That was a pretty cool sight. Had a plane going down the the runway there.
I wonder if it was the president.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. I've never seen that on iRacing.
Yeah, I'm actually curious to see what they're going to add in the next build. They said they're going to have more different animations. So along with the fireworks we see on the track, we're going to see fireworks at the end of the race here as well.
Yes, sir. That's one of the good things about night racing as well. You get the fireworks, and both on and in the air. Or on the track and in the air, excuse me.
Yeah, that seems to be my problem, is I never can win a night race, so I never get to see the fireworks there, unfortunately.
Well, that's not true. Didn't you win the preseason race for 3 wide during the night?
Yeah, but the update hadn't updated yet.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So close.
It was literally a day before.
That's unfortunate. So,
look at me complaining about a win.
Yeah. Whoa. Not sure what the 6 truck was doing, but almost did some off-road in action as we've taken 1 to go, so we'll be getting the green with 22 laps to go here tonight.
We've seen several vehicles take that approach during different races this year, and you never know, it might add a little bit to their truck.
Yeah. These are trucks, so might as well go off-roading with them, right?
Hey, the commercials say they go on dirt occasionally on Fox Sports 1.
Yeah, there you go. And dirt coming soon to iRacing as well. So can't wait for that, and can't wait to be in the seat for that and in the booth for that. That'll be surely loads of fun from both sides.
Oh yeah, for sure, Justin. I think I'm more excited to actually be in the booth and watch one of those.
Yeah.
Looks like the leader's going to take the inside here on this restart with the 36 behind him and the 33 behind the 36 on the bottom line. And I think that's the only clean trucks that are out there on the bottom line there.
Yeah, as you said, takes the bottom. As expected, really. I don't think there's really a benefit to taking the high side there, unless, say, it's your teammate there on the bottom. But other than that, bottom line is preferred line. Both both on restarts and both on track during green. So pace car is gonna pull down. There he goes. 21's off, and we're green.
I think that's the best restart the outside has had all evening.
Yeah, the 1 car got a real good run on that restart. Not sure if he's going to be able to clear the 21 there, but he'll sure give him a try.
Oh, looks like the 36, the solo NOS car, Tundra left, got on the apron a little bit there and created a little situation with him in the 88.
Yeah. Little tandem down the back straightaway. The 1 was not able to get in front and slowly losing ground there to the 21. As now the 88's going to pull in and leave the 1. Eddie Kerner there.
Looks like he's going to let him in there.
Yep.
And it looks like, I just noticed, it looks like the 1 car has a little bit of damage on the rear end. You wonder, did he just get that, or have I been missing that all night?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either. Might have been some pretty good bumping by the 88 to give him that, as Eddie's wanting to try again, but no help there on the high side.
Yeah, like you said, I feel like that 21 car, I might be jumping on your bandwagon here, and he just seems like he has control of this race right now.
It really does, and it seems like he's had control really all night from the way we've seen him driving. So the 1 car going to give it another shot here. The 88 not going to go with him.
Yeah, I'm getting the sense from the 1 that he really wants to go and really wants to start working, but I feel like that 36 is just kind of content to ride behind the 21 there and wait until, his best chance to go out and win this thing.
Yeah, with the 1, you got the 33 and 88 back there. I'm not sure if there'll be any help to them. Oh, we had a little bit of contact there between the 36 and the 1. Don't think there was any damage on either side, so...
Yeah, I kind of saw that coming. The 1 car was side drafting so heavily there, and I think the 36 car actually got hooked onto the 21's bumper, and it made him a little squirrely there, so the 36 car had to chase him up the hill and just happened to get into the 1 car. But with so few cars left that arguably have a shot here, unless we have another massive accident, it looks like the 21, 36, 1, 88, and the 33 all have the best chances. So right now it's literally the top 5's game on who can win this.
The 1 looking again. 88 thought about going with him, but chooses not to. He's going to stay on that bottom line. 33 just kind of hugging to the back of the 88.
Yeah, it sounds like the 1 car and the 88 car were trying to make a strategy there. And the 36 car pulls out.
But he's going to pull back in.
He's got to be getting hot there.
The 1 pulls up to the side of the 36. Not sure he's going to get any farther up there. He's going to take it all the way to the wall. I think the hole might have closed up there. Nope, 88's going to let him back in. Well, he is persistent.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I feel like he's either trying to bait the 88 to go up with him, or he's just trying to keep his truck cool. Why overheat it with a 5-car pack? I've noticed, though, that ever since the 1 car started poking out there on a constant basis, the 21 car is now running the middle of the back stretch, the front stretch, and now even in the corners to see if he can try to counter that and make him go a little bit higher than he wants to.
And that's just one of the ways this 21 car has been able to hold the lead and control this race all night. So far has led the most laps, and I don't think anyone will beat him. I think the only one closest to him that has a chance is William Kruska in that 88, as now that outside line looks like it may be formed up.
They have a 16 to go. I think they're getting a little antsy and they're wanting to go.
36 is going to go up there as well. Now we're 3 wide here. Hello. 36.
Oh, that was...
Trying to chop the runoff there.
I don't know who this is going to benefit, because none of them really have a draft partner. Looks like the 21's going to pull back out with a 33 behind him here. But what a turn of events, though. Oh, no!
Oh,
accident.
no! Oh. What a shame. Doesn't look like the 1 car there has much damage. Watch out. That could have been very close there with Jeremy Poole there in the 36. Let's take a quick look at what happened there.
Yeah, be curious to see because they'd been three wide for it seems like a whole lap now, and that you'd have thought he knew there was somebody on the outside there. So maybe he just got tight and pushed up, or
I'd have to imagine. I
man,
mean, he was up there for the longest time, so either that or maybe he thought he had a gap, or a spotter told him he was clear. And this is where it kind of got a little dicey there with the 36. But
well, it looks like I was wrong with two cautions and you were wrong with one, so we're both losers tonight.
yes. So it doesn't look like the one car has, or the one truck, excuse me, has too much damage there to the nose. Obviously some sort of damage, but I don't think it'll be race ending or draft ending.
The curious question that I have here is now that there's three good cars out there, that takes away the tandem for being too wide. So I think the winner's going to be whoever the 88 car decides to go with at the end, or if he's going to try to go by him and go three wide.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have a three wide finish here, man. I mean, if that happens, I'm gonna have to leave.
Gonna have to hop off the or hop out of the booth there. It'll be too much, right?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta, I don't know what's going through the 36 car's mind though with Jeremy. You know, he made that move, and you know that as soon as he made that move and he heard it three wide, you knew he knew that was a mistake, and he was probably just trying to get back in a good position and made a bigger mistake by trying to squeeze the one up there.
But so while we have time, since it's under a commercial break or commercial, we're gonna take a quick break here. Won't really miss a thing here, and besides we're under caution, so we'll be right back. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway with the IRA League Daytona 150, presented by Harpoon Design. Coming down to the final couple laps here, and I'm sure it won't disappoint here for the great racing we've seen so far here tonight. 13 laps to go to settle it, and I don't think we're quite done with cautions quite yet. Might see another two or one or two. We'll have to see. What do you think, Michael?
I'm not really sure. I don't know. I feel like most of the cars are beat up enough where they all might be separate speeds and they won't be really hung together. But a car that I've been kind of watching here that doesn't seem too bad is going to be the 1 in the 78. I'm curious to see, since they're kind of caught up now, if they can hang on to the back of the 88 car here and maybe kind of pull one out with a little bit of damage.
Yeah, even if you have damage, it seems like catch onto the back of a truck, as you said, and you'll be good to go. So pace car is in, and we're green with 12 laps to go here.
Yeah,
21
it looks
with
like
a very nice jump.
Yeah, the 78 car and the 1 car are going to dispense of those two woundeds up there on the top, and you never know, they might just be here to spoil the party.
Yeah, that 1 car already making up some good ground there. Already locked to the back bumper of the 88. We'll see when he jumps to the outside line. Seems like that's the preferred line for him.
Now, I'm curious to see what's going on in strategy-wise for the 88. You know, if I was the 88, once it got down to probably 5 or 6 laps, I'd be glued to the back of the 21 to make sure that nobody got on the outside of us. You know, so I had the only run at him coming out of 4. Because it looks like the 1 car's kind of fading off a little bit, but we'll see once it comes down to crunch time what's going to happen here.
So as we kind of predicted during that break, we thought it was going to be a 3-man race for the lead with that 21, 88, and 33, and it looks like our predictions were correct there, Michael.
And I feel like the 88 might be taking my strategy plan that I called there, you know, even with 10 laps to go, because they're starting to pull away from the 33 a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Not sure if... I'm sure the 33 will be able to get back up to the tailgate there, the 88, but as he already is. So speaking of that 33, since he's last in pack, let's ride on board with him, shall we?
Looks like he's holding a pretty steady wheel there, kind of just riding right now, waiting for his best opportunity to take the win here. But we'll see when it comes down later on if he's going to be taking that outside lane there, or if he's going to try to stick behind one of these guys and push them far enough ahead
And
to pull out coming to the checkered flag.
the great thing from where he's sitting, there's really no rush because fourth is about 2 seconds behind, and the leaders are right in front of him.
Yeah, it looks like 4th place is about a second off the pace here, which is really unfortunate for the 1 car. He was an innocent bystander in that last incident, but it's probably a 3-man race here unless they all 3 wreck, which is possible. It's speedway racing, you never know, and that could hand the win to one of the cars that's hanging back there. But just looking at the difference between the 33 cars in car and the 88 in front of him, just how much harder the 88 truck is to drive right now with him banging off the back bumper of the 21 car.
Looks like the 88 might be looking for a little bit of air there on that truck. Trying to get inside and outside. Oh!
Oh, that was close.
Yeah,
Oh.
a little bit of contact there on the back bumper there with the 88 and 21, but looks like no harm, no foul. 88's going to let the 21 gather it up, and now we're doing a little bit of racing here.
Whew, man, my heart started racing there, man. I thought there for a second we were going to have to talk about if the 33 truck by itself was going to be faster than all the wreck trucks together.
Well, he could have He might have been still involved in it.
But what a good piece of driving, though, by that
Yeah.
21 car to somehow keep it straight.
Absolutely. And, well, now we're going to have to deal with lap cars here.
Man, that...
Oh,
I can't see what number it is, but that 51 is slow.
yeah, look at the gap the 21 car has now, and that's probably going to be the death of him, really, because he's 2 cars behind him. They're still hooked up, and they're going to be coming around him like he's a sitting duck, to quote Darrell Waltrip there.
We'll see what he does, though. If he kind of baits one of them high, baits one of them low, he might be able just to split.
Yeah, his
It looks
best.
like they're gonna hang back there. An odd strategy. I don't think I would have hung there behind him. I think I would have taken that opportunity.
Well, I guess they're thinking if you get around him, he's probably going to get back around you with how fast his truck is. So what's the point? That's what, at least I'm assuming.
That's a valid point, but you always got to remember, in iRacing, if a caution comes out now, the race is officially over.
Yeah. It's a valid point as well, yeah. However, I think with 6 laps to go, it might be a little bit too early to call it, but I can see with maybe 4 to go, you may want to be getting towards the front there as the 88.
Oh.
Not sure what he was doing. Had to go on the apron there.
That's one thing that's so easy to do in these trucks, and even the Xfinity cars is trying to get down to the corner behind and on somebody's bumper. You really lose reference of kind of where you're at. So that might have been what happened there and why he got on the apron.
5 laps to go. Anything can still happen on this 2.5 mile racetrack. Still got a lot of cars behind him on the lead lap. Well, I say a lot. Only got about 8, but still got a lot of cars on track as of right now. You have the wounded 27 car. They're gonna, or truck. They're gonna go around him.
It looks like the 1 car is actually dropped out at this point.
Waiting to catch up with him. Yeah. Not sure where he went, but.
I'll be curious if I've been talking about the 21 actually running the middle lane all night in the corners. So we'll see once it gets down to come into what it'll be 2 to go next time if he closes that gap up and just starts running straight on the bottom yellow line.
Going by another wounded NOS truck, be the 6.
Unfortunately, that seems to be an occurrence the past 3 laps, unfortunately, for that team. The 33 truck, Justin, is actually in a really tough spot because he really is only dictated on the cars in front of him because he doesn't have anybody to push him. So
Yeah.
if they go too wide, he only has 2 options. He can either tuck behind one of them and he'll kind of dictate who wins this race, or if they leave enough room and he has a big enough run, maybe take it 3 wide, take a shot at victory. But I think unfortunately the 33 car is actually in the worst position you could be.
Yeah, exactly what you said. He's most likely going to be the dictator of who wins this race, whether it be the 21 or 88. Whoever, I guess, he feels he wants to push to the win. But
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be either a Chevy or it's gonna be league owner versus one
And
of
we
it.
have a
the
caution.
Oh no!
The 44 of Eric Hall spun around in the tri-oval here, and, well, with 2 laps to go, that's going to end it. Let's see what happened there. I'm assuming he got maybe a little bit... Oh, I don't know about that. Oh. To me, Michael, that
Yeah,
looks like a self-spin.
It does. I mean, if it was if that was maybe in the tri-oval, I could see getting loose, but I don't know, man.
Well,
that looks pretty blatant on his part. You got to wonder if he's the teammate of the 21 truck at this point.
Yeah, he was... I think there's no question there. He was shaking the truck back and forth to try and spin that truck out. Well, that's a little unfortunate how this race is going to end due to that self spin, but
that unfortunately brings up my point I made earlier. The 88 truck should have took that advantage he had earlier, because you never know exactly when the race is going to end.
yeah, that's the most hardest part as a driver, I guess you could say, where to make your move. I mean, you'd want to do it on the white flag, but then you gotta keep in mind that iRacing doesn't do green-white checkers. So, in the 88's case, he's not gonna get a second chance at it. So, he's gonna have to deal with second here. But overall, I think it's safe to say the best truck won here tonight. With Sammy Coghill going to be walking away leading 39 out of the 60 laps. So over half
Yeah,
the
he,
race.
he definitely had the dominant truck. I think if the 88 truck could have went back, I think he'd have taken his opportunity. I know my rule is always, if I have to go, if you got a chance to take the lead, no matter what track it is, you got to take it. Just because you don't have green-white checkers, which I wish they would implement. But unfortunately tonight, the 21 car won, best car. He dominated. He was fast, and you can't take that away from him.
No, sir. So just took the white flag, and they're going to be coming around to the checkers here.
And I got some inside intel that the 44 is not affiliated with the 21. So my previous statement with teammates was completely wrong.
Well, that begs the question of, why he would spin it out like that. But we'll never know because Eric is disconnected from TeamSpeak. So
Yeah, I mean, that's such a weird situation. I don't know, man, but I'm listening to the radio, and the 33 truck said he was going to take it 3 wide coming to the checker. So that's so disappointed that we don't get to see that amazing finish, man. But all in all, it was a good race, and I'm sure they're excited.
yes, sir. And like we said before, the best truck wins tonight. Sammy Coghill is going to victory lane with the Harpoon Design Daytona 150, the Harpoon Design Truck Series. And not the finish I don't think we wanted to see as fans, but it's the finish we got to see.
Yeah, he actually started 7th tonight, so he drove his way all the way up to the front with just a good drafting truck.
So we'll let him do the victory burnouts, and gonna take a quick break here as we wait for some of the drivers to hop into TeamSpeak here. So we'll be right back. welcome back to Daytona as the winner of tonight's Harpoon Design Daytona 150. Currently doing the burnouts. That'd be the 21 of Sammy Coghill. Sadly, we won't be able to talk to him tonight, but we'll be able to speak to the man driving the 88 truck. But before that, we're going to go through where everybody finished here tonight. As we said, Sammy Coghill is going to be finishing first here tonight. And William Kruska going to be coming home second. Doug McCollum third, Sean Cool fourth, and Douglas Pack fifth. And Michael, you can round out the top 10 for us. All right, I'll round out the top 10. Sixth, you got Douglas Duchette in the sixth place. Matt Baines coming home seventh. Jeremy Poole eighth. Cody Tabor ninth, and Andre Chicom 10th.
You got me?
Yes, sir. Would you like to round out the top 20?
Sure. What number did you leave off at?
We just starting with 11.
Okay. Looks like you got Eddie Kerner in 11th, in 12th, Nicholas Bass, in 13th, Landon Williams, in 14th, Eric Hall, in 15th, Gary Wells Jr., 16th, Derek Wright, 17th will be Richard Hines, 18th, Christopher Norman, 19th, David Phillips, and 20th, Adam Meir.
And then in 21st, you got Derek Less, 22nd, Dan Bunn, 23rd, Brian Vaughn, 24th, Jake Little, 25th, Garrison Hogan, and 26th, Curtis Martin. And that's going to round out the field here tonight. So we're going to talk to our second place finisher here tonight. That would be the 88 of William Kruska. William, you got us?
Yes, I do, sir.
All right. Well, it was probably looking to be a good finish between you and the 21 car there, but overall it was a good night for you. Walk us through it.
Well, my plan was just to go up there with one to go and pass him finally, but that didn't happen, sadly. That was really my plan for that, but I'm happy with the second place finish that I got. Hoping to get my first league race win there. I got to thank you guys for putting this on though first. Everyone else that showed up, this was the most that we ever got in a league race, so that was pretty cool from the start. Got to thank Harpoon Design for always, being there for us and always being our sponsor for there. And hopefully we can get some more races for you guys to get broadcasted.
Hey, William, it's Michael up here. I got a question. When you got the 5 to go there and the 21 broke up a little bit with the lapped cars, what was going through your mind there thinking of if you were going to make the pass or if you were gonna wait to 1 to go?
That was my plan, was for 1 to go was to go outside, hopefully to him to follow, but I know he was falling back. But yeah, either 2 to go or 1 to go was my plan to get up there. It was actually during that caution that was my plan, sadly.
Yeah, it sounded like you were trying to figure out something with the 1 truck there, and then the 36 kind of took care of your plan for you.
Yeah.
All right, well, man, good race, and I'm glad I got to sit here and watch you guys. It was entertaining and exciting.
Yep, you're welcome.
All right, William. Well, we wish you best of luck in the rest of the season, and congrats on finishing second here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, and with that, we're going to wrap it up here tonight. For Justin Cole, I'm Michael Skinner, and Race, if you're watching, just letting you know we're thinking about you, buddy, and hoping you and the family are doing well.
Yes, Race, get better. We know it's you.
Well, Michael, we thank you for joining us here tonight in the absence of Race, so hoping to see you should we have to call you back in, and we'll actually see you tomorrow on track in the high voltage race.
Yes, sir, and I appreciate y'all having me, and I can't wait to be back.
All right, so that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow we're going to Indianapolis for the High Voltage Racing League race there. And until then, we'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good night.